So I tend to have kind of some unique scaling methods, and I credit these methods to being able to allowing me to hit $92,000 in a day. Now, I want to preface all that with saying, I don't know that I'm like some kind of Facebook genius or something like that and came up with this. I think some mixture of this was luck. Some of this was a little bit intuitive as I was testing products and attempting to scale, and I'd scaled some products before in the past. It's like, if you're close to your ads for a long time, you just start to get a feeling for how there's like a rhythm and a tempo to buyer behavior, to the way your ads spend and things like that. And you start to get a feeling, like an intuition for some of that stuff. That's how I developed a lot of my methods. I have various reasons for why I think they work. At the end of the day, it's almost all theory. That's one important thing I want to say. And the other thing is Facebook's constantly changing things, right? So just because this has worked for me in the past doesn't mean it's going to be working for me in the future. So it's very important to stay flexible, stay agile, and constantly experiment. So the way I like to scale, I like one campaign with lots of ad sets. I mean, like lots of it. Now, granted, this is when I'm scaling, okay? I almost always do ABO here for my campaign. And this will be like, it's nothing for me to have one campaign with 50 ad sets. And I may start with 50 $10 ad sets. And again, don't forget my stair step, right? Because I go back and forth between increasing budgets on the ad sets and then increasing the number of ad sets. But I might start with, $10 ad sets, and then I'll jump it to $20 ad sets, right? And keep in mind, if you've got 50 $10 ad sets here at $500, the next day, if I bump them all to 20, I'm suddenly at $1,000, right? Which means I just increased my spend by 100%. Facebook hates this. They don't want you to do that. Your ads will never leave learning when you're doing this, which drives some people crazy. Doesn't drive me crazy because it works. I don't know why it works. It just does. I have theories. Again, these are theories. So I go from $10 to $20, and then from 20, I might get saucy. I might jump it to 500. Okay. And then what I do, you're going to find that when you're in Ads Manager, loading one campaign with 50 ad sets starts to take a while, right? It's a little bit frustrating. So what I will do, just to look, it doesn't take any less time, but I just find that Facebook, it's like they digest this a little easier. What I'll do is I'll just I'll duplicate the campaign, right? So like, let's say, for example, I'm doing $50 ad sets. What is that? $25,000 in spend. Is that right? 50 times 50? No, $2,500 in spend. Not even there yet. So what I'll do is the next day, I'll just duplicate this right here, right? And then the very next day, I'm spending $5,000. The very next day, I'll jump from $2,500 to $5,000 in one day. And then if I'm still profitable, guess what I'm doing the next day? You don't play around here. No guts, no glory, especially guys, if you're in the peak buying time, right? It's okay to scale until you hit a ceiling. So I'll double this again, right? Maybe what I'll do is I'll either add another ad set, or I can increase all my ad sets to $100. Is this making sense to everybody? Let me know if you're struggling with this, because I know it's a little bit unconventional. Can you talk about your add to cart and conversion metrics on the 93K? Probably not on this call. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't want to go back into my store while I'm streaming and all this. You're losing me. Understand the duplicating, but what are the 50 ad sets made up of? Well, the 50 ad sets are all duplicates, one of another. So what I'll do is I'll create one ad set with a $50 budget, and then I'll just duplicate that thing 49 times, okay? Facebook doesn't like it when you do this. It's going to bog down. It's going to crunch on you. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but if it's making you money, what other choice do you have? I'm just surprised this is all free information right now. Put it to good use. So 50 of the same interest, big effing audience. Yeah, dude, when you're scaling, you need big audiences to scale to. Look, I'm talking about how I did 92,000 a single day. You don't do that with an audience size of 1 million, okay? The good news is you're in the family niche. All the audiences are huge, okay? They're all capable of huge, huge numbers. So 50 of the same interest. Yeah, keep it. Also, your pixel is going to get more optimized too. So you can slowly broaden your interests as you scale. So just for example, this is kind of, how would I put this? So if this is Facebook, right? And you want Facebook to hit your buyer. This is going to be another crude drawing here. Let's pretend this is your buyer right here. Well, you almost have to put blinders on Facebook, especially if your pixel is not optimized, right? So You have to choose a very little narrow interest, right? You have to point Facebook. It's like bowling, and you've got the inflatable, what do they call those? Like the gutter things, right? They keep your ball bouncing around inside the lane so you don't do a gutter shot. It's kind of what you're doing with Facebook when you do your interest, okay? But as your pixel gets more and more optimized, what you can do is you can start to broaden this out a little bit. That's a bigger interest. You can get broader, right? And then eventually you can even run with no interest at all. And Facebook will get so good at learning who your buyer is, they'll be able to find your buyer everywhere. Heat-sinking missile type thing, right? They're just finding your buyer all over the place. I sometimes say that you got to think, like for the gamers out there, if you play RPGs, you know, your Facebook pixel is like a character in an RPG and you're leveling it up. The more data you give it, right? It's like experience points, and it just slowly levels up, and it gets better and better at targeting, right? It gets better gear, better equipment, and other gamer stuff. And eventually it's out there just slaying. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what you're doing. You're feeding it data, getting it good and optimized, and then you can broaden your targeting a lot. So yeah, when you're scaling to these levels, you need big audiences, but they're there. So it's okay. Hey everybody, what's up? Thank you so much for checking out the ShineOn YouTube channel. I'm Michael Christ, and if you like the content in today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out all the links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.